Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we are here to nourish our souls. I am Norah, the host of this program, Thoughts by Joanna, Angelis. And I know I sound like a broken record when I'm saying like this book is amazing because it really, really is. And just every way that we can love. We can never get tired of hearing that talk, right? Every way that we can love. Joanna is putting all of that in this little book with beautiful, very profound messages. So let us start getting ready for today's study, dear friends. Here we go. It says, Joanna says, let your voice be soft in these turbulent and noisy days. Let your demeanor be kind amid the chaos and personality clashes. This is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, peaceful, and very welcome message for us during these days. The first thing that we need to remove from ourselves is to think that Joanna is saying for us to not speak up for ourselves, to stay quiet when it's not needed, or to feel like our voice does not matter, friends. It really is not about that. It really is, can we be in an environment in ourselves first, inside, right? Like part of us being in around ourselves where we can be soft and gentle. This beautiful book, Silence by Thich Nhat Hanh, is beautiful. It is better for us to read a paragraph where he gives us a really useful tool. And it says, if you are beginning to think about how to bring more silence and space into your life so that you can cultivate joy, remember that none of us can do this alone. It's much easier to achieve and appreciate quiet when you have a supportive environment. If you can bring yourself into a quieter, more peaceful physical environment, surround yourself as much as you can with people who help foster a collective energy of calm and compassion. Consciously choosing what and who you surround yourself with is among the keys to finding more space for joy. This is a teaser because the rest of the book is just a great ride to go on this journey, studying a little bit about the power of silence. Because when we really read this, as Joanna is telling us, it's really about bringing ourselves to this energy, to this spiritual alignment where we have clarity, where that energy is calm and it allows us to love even better. It gives us this beautiful joy. But what's so beautiful is we can't do this on our own. This is a team effort, and we know beforehand God comes in the picture for us. We have many mentors. We have so much support. And as we're learning how to work this energy, this vibration in the world that is surrounded by loudness, we really do come to appreciate the power of this. In the book Jesus in the Home, in chapter 28, entitled The Heavenly Reply, Bartholomew comes to Jesus and asks, can you give us a little explanation of how prayers work? And even though, friends, this is not necessarily a story about being silent, we can make an inference that we are being asked that when we are silencing ourselves, we are instead replacing whatever comes to mind that we want to say so loudly with a prayer. And in this section, Jesus tells Bartholomew and the disciples this very beautiful story about an old teacher that was going from village to village with his dog. And then one particular night, it was actually very dark and there was a storm. And he, of course, naturally wanted to find a place for him to find some refuge with his dog. So he found at first, Jesus explains in this book, just in the home, right, through Neo Lucio, explains that at first he found this very comfortable looking hollow, and he was just about to fall asleep when some bugs come and they kick him out of that place. Like, fine. So he keeps on walking and he comes in front of a creek and there's a bridge. He's like, okay, we're going to go across that bridge. And before stepping on it, the bridge collapses. Of course, the man, you can make again another inference, maybe a little frustrated, but he knew, right? Because he had asked before this trip, he had asked for protection. And Jesus does not say a lot about what happens as far as what he's saying, but friends, in the story, he keeps on going, because even though he comes, he gets kicked out by the bugs or those flies, whatever was there, the bridge collapses. He keeps on going. He finds this tree. He's like, fine, we're going to be here. Well, because there was a storm, there's a huge wind passed through and split the tree in half. So naturally, he had to continue moving. So he keeps on going. He comes across this old country house. He knocks on the door. The man comes out, and you can imagine he's asking, please, can I please go inside? It's my dog and I, we're cold. It's in the middle of the night. The old man says, no, I do not take strangers inside my house. So closes the door on him, and the old teacher with his dog keep on walking until he comes across this little hut, and he finds himself and feels like he needs to be there. So he finally puts himself there, and the dog starts barking, and he hears so much noise. And before anything, his dog takes off. And this is the point where we get the story where he really felt, I prayed for protection and you didn't protect me. He was disappointed. He lost his best friend. He had a very difficult night. In the morning, as time passed, he actually got some news. First, he found out that house that he had knocked, some thieves went to, stole stuff, and even killed the owner. Then, later, friends, he finds out, as Jesus tells the story to Bartholomew and the disciples, that bridge that he wanted to cross, if he had crossed, he was only going to land on swampland. And his biggest question was about his dog. He realized that his dog saved his life. And then Jesus says that this old teacher asked for forgiveness and realized that his prayer had been answered. He was being protected every step of the way through this journey. And when Jesus ends the story, Neo Lucio says that there was a silence. Oh, isn't that beautiful, friends? And then Jesus ends the chapter saying, the Father always hears our pleas, but we need discernment in order to understand his answers and put them to the best use. So this powerful word, discernment, friends, the way to build this discernment is to continue practicing as best as we can silence when it's the most needed. Just like this story, this man who went through turbulent times, despite everything, he kept on going. Even though he felt like he was abandoned on points, we still see he keeps on going. And this is beautiful for us to remind ourselves as we go through our week, as we go through our days. As Joanna is reminding us, can we love quietly? What is the power of doing that, friends? So that is the lesson for us this week, to practice loving quietly, gently, and doing this in our everyday relationships, and the things that we are given to do, the missions that we have, the goals we need to accomplish, the tasks, anything that we start to build that discernment, it is helping us to understand. Let us remember what Joanna says, to love quietly in faith. Dear friends, what a beautiful message. I'm getting goosebumps as I'm saying this, because it is such a profound way to do this. Thank you so much, friends, for always being here at Kardec Radio, for showing your love. And do not forget that we have other programs. And until next week, same place and same time, please stay safe as we are entering the summer. Let us enjoy time with our families and putting in more of those loving, quietly moments. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.